Good morning, Saribot. Oh, this is day 3 of this drawing, I think. Bad for... Not bad for a couple hours of work, I guess, so far. Except I spent more than a couple hours on it because all of those streams went over and I ended up working on it, like, off-stream also. Yeah. Oops. But I'm right, it wouldn't be bad for a couple hours of work. Unfortunately, it's not just a couple hours of work. What's going on today? I was working on my hand tracking code last night for the new media pipe tracker. It's like so close to being good. I even switched to like OpenCV's OpenCV's like PNP algorithms to try to determine like 3D hand coordinates. And it's like it's so close. It's so close. But it's got some problems. Every time I flip my hand around like this versus this, it like just it moves forward by like half a meter. It's the worst. I could add like a special case and try to detect when the hand does that, but like I'd rather just the math just work. I'm starting to wonder if maybe the air quotes like world landmarks coming in from media type are actually not correct. I can believe that. I wonder if it just has a weird center point. Oh, hey Claire. The origin is just like offset for the world. Oh, hey Zara. Aw, thanks for head pats. So we are continuing to work on. Oh, hey Jenin. So we're continuing to work on this this today. Or the lines on this are getting a little intense. We just gotta finish off the legs and stuff though, and we should be good to go for like shading and everything else. That's gonna be a lot faster. The lines just take forever. Also, want to see something I just noticed in my stream setup. Something that's been there for a very, very, very long time. I've been staring at this same like stream setup for over a year now, every single day, and I never noticed this. What? 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 Oh, hey Thor. Oh, it's Thor o'clock, buddy. Ow! What? That's not the appropriate show your love to Thor emote. I think he's figured out that anytime I am talking to the computer, it's time to come up and cuddle. I'm gonna go one-handed for now. One hand petting the cat, the other hand drawing. Grilson, I need more brain cells, not fewer. If that's the case. Gosh. I'm tired. I'm gonna go back to bed. Sleepy's neck. How are these lines just this filthy? I didn't draw them like this, did I? I did. I did. That's the answer, is I did. Got all that done this morning? Awesome. Oh, hey Corfitz. Thanks so much for the resub. How you doing? Been a little while. Finally moved into the new place. Oh, congrats. Here. Yeah, that'll do. We're on like such tiny details now. Got internet after 1.5 weeks. Ugh, that sucks. I hate that. There's a group of people that I used to live with, and we would kind of move as a blob, and we had a lot of issues like with timelines and stuff, and one of the things that really annoyed me a lot of the time was the fact that it was acceptable to move in and then deal with the internet stuff, and it's like, no, we need to have the internet hooked up by the time we get in there. But, you know, as with many things, and I am definitely reaching into a dark part of myself saying this, like many things in that situation, my opinions were discarded, so... But happy to not be in that situation anymore. Also, not in the situation of having to move anymore. Ugh. Well, I mean, at least you did your due diligence, right? This group I was with, like, we wouldn't know the address that we're moving to until, like the weekend before our, like, the date that we were expected to be out of the previous place. And then I would get people getting on my case for, well, basically just moving my stuff in the wrong order. Like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna move my stuff. I got my Jeep, I got my trailer. I can basically do this on my own. And everyone's like, no, we're gonna move the common house stuff first. Like, well, good luck with that. They also had this whole like weekly clean the house event thing. I was just like, you know, I'll just pay for a cleaner to come in. They're like, no, you have to participate in this. And then they scheduled it to be like basically in the middle of my workday, and it's like I literally can't do that. The rest of them had kind of like choose your own hours kind of work setups, and I didn't. A little rough. Also rough in terms of like schedules, just like sleep schedules. I'd need to sleep for my 9 to 5 job, and they would be up all night making a bunch of noise. I remember one night I had to like come out of the bedroom 5 times over the course of the night and be like, please be quiet. And every time they were like, okay, we'll be quiet, and then like 5 minutes later they're making a bunch of noise again. Anyway, enough terrible roommate stories. How y'all doing? That one night that I had to do it like 5 times, I was seriously considering just checking into a motel. Like, it was that bad. There were other times living with that group that I actually did go out and sleep in my truck a few times. Didn't get enough sleep and feel gross. Sorry. Keep talking and nobody explodes. We use that as part of the interview process for Neoglyphic. Kind of wanted to see how well people worked under pressure, you know? I think we'd probably do it both ways. Neoglyphic was a fun little company. I really liked working there. We made some really cool stuff, and I got to work with some really cool people. And then it ended, fortunately. And it went poof without even a real public announcement of what happened. Sucks. Oh well. It is what it is. I'd love to work in another company like that, but I think I would have to work for somewhere that pays better in order to afford housing now. not really in the position anymore where I can take a pay cut to work at a little indie studio. Well, that's the thing, Corpus. It's not rent, it's a mortgage. Something that I've basically locked myself into a favorable situation. So long as I continue to pay the mortgage, I'm 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 in a good spot. Like my mortgage doesn't go up, even though like the value of the property goes up. The housing market has been insane lately and all that, but like my cost of where I live hasn't gone up. And so I'm desperate to hold on to that. So I got like, I have amount of runway in case I ever lose my job and have to spend time finding a new job. I can still afford like cost of that house and stuff. Like it's all like I want to stay locked into that mortgage because it's a really 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 good place to be. Like it's basically like if you started renting a place and the rent never went up, you know? Like housing in the US is just completely bonkers right now. Housing in the area that I live in is even more insane than the average. So apparently Florida now has us beat for cost of living. Yeah, yeah, it's every time I look at the prices, it's like I don't know how anyone does it. Like the only ways we the reason that I lived with a big blob of people, like one of the reasons rather, is because the housing cost was amortized over everyone, right? We would cram a lot of people into a small area. We had like bunk beds and stuff, and I'm talking about like 4 people to a room bunk beds. Um, and that way we could afford rent. Like it's a good thing that like no one there wanted to like start a family or anything like that. That's just not gonna happen. This is why like hacker houses are a thing. Like Bay Area tech people, unless you're like a C staff person, like they aren't like they're you look at their salary and it's like, wow, that's a nice salary, and then it's like, and they can't afford rent. Not on their own anyway. They have to live in a house crammed with a bunch of other like Silicon Valley, you know, tech people. Silicon Valley is just it's weird. Like anyone who's seen the show Silicon Valley, I want you to know that they toned it down, because they knew that audiences wouldn't believe what actually happens there. Like, for the sake of suspension of disbelief, they had to tone it down from how ridiculous the actual real-life Silicon Valley is. I know the real-life equivalents of a lot of those people. I've met millionaires and... I have met a billionaire once. Met Tim Sweeney once. He's not even Bay Area. I just ran into him in D.C. There's one cool millionaire that I ran into, and that was Brewster Kahle. He's really cool. Brewster Kahle is like one of the people behind the actually, I think he's like the main person behind the Internet Archive. It's rare that I call someone like a cool rich person, but like he's using his resources for what I consider to be a very good thing. Didn't get taken down? No, the Internet Archive's still around. There are people trying to get it taken down. Yeah, basically at one point, Jason Scott put out a message on Twitter being like, anyone in the Bay Area, can you lend a hand to try to move like a lot of boxes of records? Basically, like there's a guy, I think he passed away, and he left this house just full of like really old like collectible records that a lot of them were really hard to find and stuff like that. And the Internet Archive was like, we want to take those and digitize all of them. And so it was like, okay, well, great. The estate wants to get rid of them. So any of them that are left over after like this date are getting chucked. And it's like, ooh, okay, all hands on deck. Anyone in the area who can lend a hand, come on in. Let's move some boxes of records. Let me tell you a thing about boxes of records. They're really heavy. Records are really heavy. They're surprisingly heavy. My goodness. Hey, Luna. Anyway, so I came there. There's a van, there was a handful of volunteers, and there was Brewster Kahle. They were all like moving the records and stuff. And you know, Sabine and I helped. Luna actually taught me to use Inochi 2D or Inochi Creator, so I'm gonna. If I weren't like already working on something like a piece of art that I was trying to finish, I would probably be working on a 2D VTuber model right now. I really want to do that and try to get it rigged and stuff, probably on stream. Discmaster was? I don't know what you're referring to. And some weird feet here. Gotta go all like bird-like and stuff. Wonder what I should play this weekend. I don't think I have any Doom content queued up, but I want to continue doing Doom, so I can probably go back to the terrible 1994 era maps. But if anyone's got like a recommendation for a map set that plays well with Hideous Destructor, do let me know. Can we just be lurking? Alright. Thank you for lurk. This is actually supposed to be coming out of the back of the foot, but I kind of made it coming out of the side of the foot. Did I fix that? Yeah. See if we can fix the perspective on that. I'm gonna go all Rob Liefeld Captain America chest on this. You know what? You know what? That's fine. Whatever. We'll just leave it like that. He's got weird feet. He's got weird monster feet. All the feet people are probably like, no! But they were probably doing that already, based on, like, the fact that they're weird monster feet. That's fine. I'm not sure what they would be expecting going into like a Lamia's Twitch channel and wanting to see feet. It's kind of like a little antithetical, right? Or anti something. Counterintuitive? No. I don't know what the word is there. Whatever. I'm rambling. Ignore me. Or don't. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not your mom. Oh, squirrel. There's an actual squirrel out my window, too. Not... Antithetical. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. This is actually, like, the least interesting part of the drawing. Like, if I were focusing on stuff, like, up here, I'd... it would probably be like, yeah, you know, anime girls, obviously. I bet the thumbnail's probably not that interesting that people are seeing right now. Whatever. It's fine. Get some of that silhouette of the scales in there. There was some art like this, a girl with like scaled legs like this that I drew that took like literally an entire week to do the line art for. So this is actually going really well by comparison. Also, this back leg right here, that still needs scales all over it. That's going to be fun to do. I still need to. Sabine keeps mentioning that I need to try out Bolt Gun. By the way, I'll probably do that on the stream. Because people like Warhammer 40K stuff, right? Hope it's better than Deathwing. Actually, speaking of Deathwing, around the time I was playing that, I discovered another game that was kind of similar to it called Space Beast Terror Fright. Sounds like an odd name for a game, and it's a little indie game, but it's kind of a similar idea. And you know, it's sort of a mix of what is it? There's a bunch of monsters spawning, and you have to like go through this spaceship and complete some objectives and stuff, and then get the heck out, basically. It's actually really well done though. Hey Billy, how you doing? We're drawing monster legs today. And robot feet. Monster legs and robot feet. You know what's sad? I don't think I'm going to get the line art done today. I think there's still too much to do. We're almost done with this leg. Sleepy as frick. Me too. I just crawled out of bed. So. Do we actually need to complete the legs? I mean, like, the emphasis is on the characters up here, right? We don't really need to do all the details on these. She says she goes back into doing the details on them. I think my bangs are at like exactly the wrong length right now because they're coming down onto my face and making my nose all itchy. Yeah, how you doing? Aside from sleepy. Got out of bed an hour ago, just out of the shower, trying to wake myself up, but I'm still sleepy. Well, if you're sleepy, you should sleep. Also, gotta say, random thing, like the weather here in Santa Cruz has been really garbage lately. I've been like, I'm waiting for summer to start. I'm waiting for summer to start. I'm gonna take the top and doors off my Jeep. I'm gonna drive it around town in a bikini, and it's gonna be great. And I'm waiting for summer to start, and it's like mid-June, and it's still like rainy and gross outside and kind of cold. And it's like, when we gonna get our summer? Let's go. Come on, let's do it. Anytime now. Come on, warm season. Let's go. Ah. You think it's just like saving up? It's just like saving up all the summer to hit all at once and make everyone miserable? After drawing a bit yesterday, decided to do a remake from track a while ago in VOD Nation. Nice. Yeah, when I was on that trip that I was on recently, like, was out of California, and it was really hot. It was like actual, like, you know, seasonal appropriate weather here, and it's weird too because like Santa Cruz is cold, San Jose is not cold. Like up in, and I've rambled about this before, but like we have a problem here with microclimates. So Santa Cruz is separated from San Jose by like this set of hills, and what that does is those hills contain a lot of the weather, and so San Jose is right over the hill. It's about a half-hour drive, and it's like it's pretty hot up there right now. And it's weird because like if you go to Weather Underground and you look at like, okay, Santa Cruz weather, shows you the Santa Cruz weather, right? And it's like, okay, give me the month forecast. And it's like, we don't have that for Santa Cruz, so we're going to silently transfer you to the San Jose monthly forecast. And it's like the San Jose monthly forecast, if you look for the current day, it's like really, really, really hot. It's like it is not like that outside right now. And then I look up at the top and it's like, oh, it's San Jose, not Santa Cruz. It'll just kind of like silently transfer you to that page without even telling you that you're going to a different weather station. Oh, hydrating, and thanks to the posture pick. Posture is currently 1 frozen snack worth of posture. I'm really putting the popsicle in expired popsicle, huh? Was it shrimp? No, it was snack. Hey, Carolyn. How you doing? Remind me not to do any art that's this detailed in the future. Remind me to keep it nice and simple next time. Nice and sketchy. Sketchy gay stuff. That this morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I don't mind it. It's just the fact that it takes, like, forever to actually get all those details in. And get, like, proper lines on them and everything. Music reminds me a lot of Morrowind for some reason. Exactly why. It's not laziness. It's like, look, I have trouble focusing on stuff for a long period of time. And like growing up my entire life, a lot of people told me I was lazy and stuff, but no, it's like normal people, like neurotypical people, don't have that trouble that I do. It's not laziness, it's just that stuff is actually that much harder for me. So don't think that you're lazy if you're having a hard time like concentrating on something. And don't let people tell you that you're lazy. And in fact, there's a lot of people out there now who are basically saying that like laziness as a thing just isn't real. Like there's like executive dysfunction, there's inability to focus on stuff, but like laziness itself isn't actually a thing. Laziness is something that's like they try to turn it into like a personal failing, right? Boomer boy. Oh. Look, they try to make it into a moral failing. Like, you should do this thing and you're deciding not to. But that's not what's happening. Like, yeah, you can decide what to do or not, but, like, you're deciding based on the fact that it's really hard to do it, where it's not that hard for other people, so they think it's an easier choice to choose the work. Yeah, don't let anyone get away with telling you that you're lazy. It took me a long time to realize that a lot of the things that I was, like, ridiculed for and punished for, and just, like, all the things, all the reasons that adults were mean to me, or other kids were mean to me, were things that were not generally, like, my fault, at least as far as being, you know, moral failings or anything. It's not like, as a kid, I was, like, violent or manipulative or any of the things that we actually consider to be, like, negative personality traits. It's just that I couldn't concentrate on stuff, and I was really weird, and I didn't know how to interact with people. But, you know, like, get bad grades, and then I get punished for it. Nobody ever asked, or, like, people... And the reason that I was getting bad grades was clearly a moral failing. Like, she's choosing not to, you know, not to work. Only work if someone makes you do it. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow, Waffle Soup. Wow, that's a lot of detail that we got done so far on that leg. Hmm? Thank you so much for the follow, Doctor Diplodocus. Yeah, nailed it first try. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I should get, like, a separate window up so that I can actually show, like, that, because, like, this doesn't mean anything to people when they like come into the chat. Hi, I'm drawing girls. Here, let's go Windows settings, Dockers. Like a preview overview. There we go. Yeah, y'all can see what's going on right here, right? On the way to work? All right, well, have a wonderful, wonderful work day. Let me put this down. Or detach it? Oh. Wait, where'd that window go? Yeah, let's try that again. Okay. Window, settings, Dockers, overview. No, wait, it's the tool options now. Is the oh right, it's its own window. Okay, I got it, figured it out. Great, done. There we go. Now we can actually show people what we're working on in the corner here, and I can go back to concentrating on the feet. Oops, sketchy gay stuff. Yeah, it's. Oh no! Almost like it's Pride Month or something. What other possible explanation could there be for me to draw all this gay stuff all the time? Digging this even more. Nope. Big as it gets. Oh, also I can use this to navigate around the image. Woo! much violence. Ow! I think I'm gonna, like, regardless of the status of other drawings I'm doing, I think I'm probably gonna do a special thing for Juneteenth when that rolls around, speaking of that. Or I guess I could start that early, too. Also, for anyone who is waiting for the next studio open source release, unfortunately it got pushed back again when I started writing my own media pipe-based tracking solution for it. I know that's a thing that I was like, I'm right there, I'm almost ready for an open source release, and then it's like, and not anymore. It looks like a lot of the bigger like VTuber software out there is already picking up the media pipe support. The way that I'm doing it. So they're doing the same thing, basically. Let's leave and get strunk. Alright, have a good strunk. Good luck, Billy. And have a good one. Hey, Pyrodrid. Good morning. How you doing? Oh yeah, apparently, speaking of like saying hi to people and all that, it seems like a weird segue, but apparently Twitch is now introducing even more rules for affiliates and partners, where they're adding like kind of minimum interaction requirements. So like, I am now obligated to interact with all of you. I mean, I do anyway, but like, seems like a really weird rule to add. Also, I suspect if I went inactive for a while, they would possibly revoke my affiliate status. I don't know. Twitch is making some weird decisions, but the alternative platforms are run by Nazis, so what can you do? Yeah, so Kick and Rumble are both very Nazi sympathetic platforms. And so it is extremely unlikely that I will ever be streaming on one of those. I think if Twitch, so like, one piece of life advice I have is always make up backup plans for, you know, travel and for emergencies and everything. And one of those backup plans that I have is for, you know, if Twitch ever becomes unusable for me. Which, given the way that, like, every other social media site on the internet seems to be going, like, Twitter and Reddit and, like, well, Facebook was already pretty garbage. Like, every kind of, like, corporate-owned, publicly traded, or wannabe publicly traded company out there just seems to like gradually make their services worse over time. And Reddit is it's not even like over time. Reddit is just very quickly all at once making their service garbage. But you know, I know that like Twitch and Discord, like two services that I rely on right now, are going to go that route one day. And I don't really have a backup plan for Twitch. I guess YouTube would be the other option. Um, I don't know how many of y'all would actually follow me over there, but um, and then after that, like I could also just stream to an Owncast instance. But that's going to be even worse for like actually getting people there, you know. Discord's been making sketchy decisions for a very long time, but they seem to be making them slow enough that people aren't reacting as poorly to them as, you know, say Reddit right now. Um, there hasn't been as much of a kind of a concentrated effort to move or anything. You know, like Mastodon was my backup plan for Twitter, though, and I relied a lot on Twitter before it became unusable for me. Um, and so what I was doing was I was cross posting stuff to Mastodon since like 2016, 2018, somewhere. I don't remember. It's one of those. I had a Mastodon.social account like pretty early, like right after, you know, the whole thing became really public, but before people were interested in switching to it from Twitter. And so what I was doing was I was cross posting everything to Mastodon. Um, and by doing that, I was kind of building up, even though I wasn't like super actively interacting on Mastodon, I was still building up kind of like a set of content and a follower base over there. So that like if Twitter ever did go bad. And so I really want to start doing the same thing for if Twitch goes bad. You know, I need to start acting on that backup plan. And that's one of the reasons I started uploading VODs to YouTube. Um, Unfortunately, Twitter has this. Twitch. I said Twitter earlier, or whatever. Twitch has this really nasty thing in their affiliate agreement that says that you're not allowed to stream like multi-stream. You're not allowed to stream to multiple platforms at once if you're an affiliate. So it's impossible for me to essentially build up that platform or build up that user base or that audience on the other platform while still using this one as an affiliate anyway. So that leaves limited options. Like I said, I've been uploading VODs. You can follow me over at, like, it's just youtube.com/@expiredpopsicle, I think. I don't have I don't have the link down there yet, but it'll show up. I don't like YouTube. There's a lot of things I don't like about YouTube. I've seen how the sausage is made at Google, and I really don't like it. But, you know, it could end up being the lesser evil, depending on how Twitch goes. Yeah, it's just like the interesting trend about this. The internet's just getting worse. Like all these services are just getting worse and worse and worse over time. Look at DeviantArt, right? DeviantArt's been around forever. You know what they do now? If you search for something on DeviantArt, they insert random images. Literally, random images. You could go to DeviantArt right now, key smash on your keyboard into the search box, and you'll end up with like 50,000 results of stuff that just has nothing to do with anything that you searched for. It's every service like this is getting worse and worse. It's a cycle, actually. It's like you know, they get in the users with like the really nice features and the nice interface and what users actually want, and then they turn towards profit, right? They're like, okay, we have the users, now let's monetize it more and more and more aggressively. Yeah, I have heard that term. There is an article that refers to that term a lot. And yeah, it's a thing that just keeps happening. And the music go. Oh, it's just really quiet. Okay. It just keeps happening. I feel like it's happened to like every corporate owned service or at least publicly traded service. There's the list of services that have actually gotten better over time is pretty small. Steam, right? Steam's gotten better over time. Um, I realize I screwed up the angle on this. The thing about Valve's not a publicly traded company, and they don't seem to have any desire to become one. They go and do whatever they want, right? I feel like there's got to be something about the whole. It's the way the profit motive is forced for publicly traded companies that make it so that it's less about the decisions they want to make for themselves and more about the what they have their obligations to the shareholders. You know. Fire trade. Okay, so like over the years, so initially Steam launched and everyone hated it, right? Over the years, they have added like built-in controller remapping into the Steam UI. They've added big picture mode for playing on like you know TV boxes and Steam Deck. They've added Linux support. They've been working on like Proton and stuff. All of those are humongous changes, like especially the Proton and the Linux support stuff. Like they basically made Linux gaming become a thing. Like Linux gaming went from being kind of like a joke that's like it's basically impossible to live on Linux as a gamer to yeah, that could work. Whoa, that's loud. Claire, the link that you tried to post got eaten, so I don't actually know what service you're referring to. Oh, itch. Well, itch itch isn't a publicly traded thing. So like my uh my thing still stands. Itch is a little like indie run. uh Actually met Leaf IRL a couple of times. Yeah, itch is cool. But yeah, to bring things back around, it seems like this is a lot of this stuff is happening all at once. You know, we've had, um, Twitter and then Reddit, right? Two really, really, really big sites on the internet turn really bad within like half a year of each other, I think. Um, we've had, uh, Twitch is constantly like making questionable decisions, but it does them at a slow enough rate that people don't openly rebel. Discord did the whole thing with the usernames recently. Um, it's just like it's happening all over all at once, and I wonder if it's because of like shifting economy and stuff like that at its root, something. I think a big part of it is a lot of companies, at least a lot of companies in the US, are built around the idea of infinite growth. At Google, they had a concept of the NBU, or next billion users. Now you realize that you can only be concerned about the next billion users about 7 times total, but that's their whole thing. Like the new markets they want to expand into and things that they're doing for that. Like if they're not, for shareholders, if a company isn't experiencing growth, then they're not getting sufficient return on investment. So I'd like to see companies with more kind of more emphasis on like sustainability than growth. And I know this has been something that's, I know I'm just echoing something that's been said a lot online already. They need to be sustainable more than growable. Can be bought and owned by other competitors, but yeah, that's true. If they're not, well, okay, that's possibly true. If they're publicly traded, then they're in that situation, definitely. If they're publicly traded and not growing enough, then they can be bought by their competitors that will then turn them into garbage. But again, some stuff isn't publicly traded. Like no one's made any realistic offers to buy Steam or Itch, right? Reddit was never profitable because of their backend code. It was so, you know what? The whole thing with Reddit too is so. I think there's kind of like a hidden, or at least an unspoken thing here that's not getting enough emphasis. Reddit lives and dies based on unpaid moderators. Reddit is currently trying to monetize those unpaid moderators, basically. Like a lot of this stuff with the third-party app stuff, a lot of it boils down to moderation. Yeah, so like the moderator tools given to Reddit mods are garbage. They rely on third-party apps to do that moderation. If the moderators cannot do their jobs, there is no Reddit. So, like, a lot of people are theorizing, like, hey, if a lot of the big subs stay closed, then will Reddit, like, forcefully open them? And I think if they do that, they're going to find out real fast that they don't have the resources that they need to sustain, like, moderation on a site that big. Anyway, so what they're saying right now is like, oh, the Reddit blackout thing, that's only gonna last for like a day, so it'll be fine. It'll pass, just like all the other protests. And a bunch of the mods who are participating in the Reddit blackout are like, we don't actually rely on the income from running these subs, right? Like we as Reddit mods. Hi, I'm also a Reddit mod, by the way. Um, I'm a mod on the game dev subreddit. Um, we don't get paid, and we don't actually lose anything by having the subs closed. So like they might think that they have like they don't realize it, but we can actually keep the subs closed indefinitely at zero cost to ourselves. And that's why I think that I think it's likely that they'll probably try forcefully reopening some subs. Um, once they kind of realize that they're in a they're playing a little bit of the old Kobayashi Maru here. And yes, you did hear protests. The Reddit blackout stuff. Not any like not any like IRL protests. Oh yeah, Reddit's been very sketchy about that stuff in the past too. They've allowed some subs to stick around for a lot longer than they should have. There are a lot of subs that were kind of like basically like if you ever there were subs that were around for long enough that if you ever told someone that you used Reddit, they would be like, wait, that site with the stuff. They did eventually take action on some of them, but like took them long enough. That atheist quote? Which atheist quote? I'm not sure if it was always like that or if it was just my opinions that changed, but there is a, I mean, the atheism subreddit. Again, I don't know if it was my opinions that changed or if it was, or if it actually changed the attitude in the sub. But at some point, I realized that it was just a let's hate religious people subreddit, and when you realize that you're part of a really like toxic community and you decide that you want to get out of it and stop paying attention to it, it's almost like waking up from a bad dream in a lot of ways, because you go out and you look at the other communities out there that are like better and are needing to needing to get to work. Yeah, in like 22 minutes, it's fine. But yeah, it did. Yeah, it's don't if you're gonna walk away from a group or or something uh because of the reasons like that, don't turn around and become a hateful person yourself, right? You know, it's funny though. The thing that really kind of like the atheism. Man, it's hard to talk today. The atheism subreddit I walked away from because I realized what it was, but I still didn't have like a great opinion of you know. I walked away still kind of having the same opinion, just not wanting to like involve myself in it. It was actually like the thing that changed my opinion about like religion and religious people in like a positive way was meeting some VTubers who were deeply religious, who were also like very accepting of who I was and stuff like that. And, you know, seeing their communities and all that and realizing that like, oh, you know, let me emphasize this point in a different way. We don't hear about the like LGBTQ people and the way news works and stuff like that. We don't hear about how often like there are, you know, LGBTQ accepting churches and stuff like that, unless something bad happens to them. If you go on Google and you search for like church LGBTQ vandalized, you will find so many stories about like a church had a pride flag up and it got vandalized. Like just endless news stories about it. That's the only time that kind of stuff shows up in the news. There's like it's not newsworthy when a church is, you know, LGBTQ accepting. It's newsworthy when something bad happens. You know, when there are churches that are anti-LGBTQ, like the NIFB and stuff like that, or when a church that is LGBTQ accepting gets vandalized or something. You only ever hear the bad news because that's what gets clicks, right? And so we're just like we're never inundated with the news about like churches being LGBTQ accepting and stuff like that. And it really took me like kind of becoming closer friends with some VTubers who are very religious to kind of like open my eyes to a lot of the fact that like uh oh, oh wait, oh, probably shouldn't have brought it. No, it's fine, don't worry about it. This whole foot is wrong. Almost done with the line art, almost done with the line art. We're so close, we're so close. Ah. Probably not gonna finish the line art this time. It's okay, it's not gonna be much work next time to finish the line art and then start shading and stuff. Anyway, anytime y'all see me interacting with someone who's like very openly, deeply religious on Twitch, who's like another VTuber, you know, just keep in mind that it's someone who I've known who is like accepting of LGBTQ people and stuff like that. There's I think one specific name I'm thinking of. I think it might be puzzling otherwise when people see me like rating someone who has like Christian all over their bio, you know? Oh, hydrating. Thanks. Yeah, like I said, we just don't we're always inundated with the really bad news. We never see the positive stuff, and I think that gives us all a really not great opinion of a lot of people who would be our close friends. Okay. So I don't really have like a solid enough line between the two like sections of legs. So I really want to go up. We need to add thickness to just this area right here. Make those two like really distinct. There we go. That's doing it. Oh, how much time do we have left? 13 minutes left. Okay. 13 minutes until the hard cutoff time. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Almost there. That was not the shape language that I was trying to communicate there. That is all wrong. All right, that's probably good. Actually, wait, no, hold on. One of these lines is too thick. Oh, we're almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, we still have to do the tail, though, so we're definitely not finishing this line art this time. I'm sorry. Jeez, scales are a pain in the butt to draw, by the way. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. That's the real Lamia curse right there. Let's see who's on right now. Let's raid. We could raid the channel that's just like tracking all the subreddit closures. It would be great for, be a great like topical thing. But I think we'll just raid. I think we're just gonna raid Nova. All right, there's the raid message. If I can actually copy and paste it this time. Yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for being here. Well, thanks everyone for being here. I really appreciate having y'all here. You're all awesome and amazing. Hope to see you next time. And yeah, have a good one. Send my love to Nova. Bye. Oh wait, I should actually open page first. Okay, there we go. All right, bye.